Monday, March 9th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. What a beautiful day yesterday and now this morning. Fairly mild temperatures in place. There's a couple of the web cameras across the state of North Carolina. Avalon Pier camera on the left. Beach Mountain Parkway camera on the right. And of course, sunrise now occurring an hour later than what we had as we went through last week, with the change to daylight saving time taking place over the weekend. Now, this was interesting. These were your Sunday temperatures. What a beautiful day yesterday. Take a look at these 5 o'clock in the afternoon observations yesterday. A lot of North and South Carolina spots hitting 70 or better for those final high temperatures yesterday. It was a fantastic, fantastic weather weekend. I hope you enjoyed it, because the weather not as great now as we go through this week for those outdoor plans you might have. All right, these are current 5 o'clock a.m. temperatures this morning. A lot of 50s on the board, some 40s mixed in here and there. Here as we start off our Monday morning. And we are in a fairly stagnant weather pattern as we go through this week. Not a lot of day-to-day weather changes with the overall upper level and surface features. I'll show you more on that in just a second. But this morning, again, I'm cutting this video during the 5 o'clock a.m. hour, and you can see that we have some clouds that have been rolling in and a little bit of light rain. Now, some of what you see is not making it to the ground, but we do continue to have some areas of rain out there across the region. This is mostly very light rain, rain that in some instances is not even making it to the ground, and where it is, it's really not much more than some sprinkles in some spots. Now, you go off to the west of us, there through parts of the Tennessee Valley. More light rain, then you follow this on back off to the west, and this is where you're closer to the actual area of low pressure back into Texas, where the rain is a little bit more pronounced back that way. So take a look at the 500 millibar chart. These are the 500 millibar heights here off the European model. And notice the big feature this week is a fairly persistent trough here back in the middle part of the country. And you notice here, as we go through the week, this is all the way out to Friday, that trough is still there, and so that is a setup that's going to favor moisture moving up here into the southeastern parts of the country more often than not this week. And at the surface, low pressure over southeastern Texas today, only slowly lifting to the north. As that warm front gets a little closer tonight, first of all, again, this morning, a little bit of light rain here and there, but then late tonight into tomorrow morning, another little chance of some mainly light rain as that warm front gets a little bit closer to the area. Here's your highs across the region today. Temperature-wise, not a bad day at all. And again, you look off to the west of us tomorrow, that surface low not moving a tremendous amount, kind of hanging out there around the lower Mississippi Valley. So after a chance of some morning rain tomorrow, just some lingering, mostly cloudy conditions for the rest of your Tuesday. High temperatures Tuesday afternoon. Again, pretty warm in many spots across the region. Then we get out to Wednesday, and it looks like as we get into Wednesday, a little bit of instability could work in here. Some Cape values creeping up just slightly. And so as we get toward Wednesday afternoon, could even be a few thunderstorms involved across the region, but a lot of clouds again, rain developing into the region, and maybe a few thunderstorms out there. There's your Wednesday highs across the region. Try to get some 80s working in again into eastern parts of North Carolina, in some spots, and parts of South Carolina. And I'll show you this in more detail in just a second. But notice what happens late week here. Let me go back there and put a pause point in there. Well, there we go. There stop for us there. This is the setup off the GFS. And the European is pretty similar. For Thursday into Friday, you have a big area of high pressure wedging down the eastern side of the mountains. Low pressure throwing moisture up and over that wedge. And that is a pretty chilly, very rainy setup for us later Thursday into Friday. You can see as we go through Friday, pretty wet day across the region. Now these are the GFS computer model rain amounts through the week. This is through Wednesday. So between now and Wednesday evening, there's the rain totals. And then notice Thursday and Friday, those totals really pile up across the region. All right, so let's kind of take it one item at a time here. This is Monday evening, so this evening, the high temperatures through the afternoon hours on the GFS, a lot of low and mid 60s in North Carolina, some 70s creeping in South Carolina. There's tomorrow morning as, again, that warm front approaches, probably a little bit of light rain out there. Then we get out to Wednesday. This is in the evening, and that's the precipitation through the afternoon hours, some rain opportunities out there, and as mentioned, maybe a thunderstorm or two. Let me show you the convective available potential energy, or the CAPE values here let's just say early afternoon Wednesday, and you can see not a lot, but some instability there, maybe enough to promote the development of a couple rumbles of thunder there Wednesday afternoon. Then we get to Thursday, and if you're familiar with looking at surface weather charts, you can see the wedging taking place here east of the mountains, low pressure in southeastern Louisiana. Let me expand that out. You can see there's that big 1040 high over southeastern Canada in the northeast. Pretty pronounced wedging signature. That is a chilly, wet setup there for Thursday. You go out to Friday morning, and the wedge is pronounced enough on the GFS that you actually get some ice going in parts of the mountains and a few sleet pellets up in southern Virginia. It's a very chilly rain in North Carolina Friday, really all day. That's Friday evening. So again, that's Friday morning, that's Friday evening. Very chilly setup. In fact, there's your high temperatures. These are highs off of the GFS model on Friday. A lot of 30s across the cold air damming areas, merely much of the Piedmont foothills and mountains of North Carolina down into the upstate of South Carolina. The GFS a little colder with the wedge than the European, but the bottom line is later Thursday and Friday looks like a chilly rain scenario. Now, what about the weekend? We get out to Saturday. This is early Saturday afternoon, and we're going to see this wedge slowly break down Saturday. Low pressure transitions to along the coast, and so the rain rates tapering off by Friday night into very early in the day Saturday, and then it's just a case of trying to break down that wedge as we get into the course of the weekend. There's Saturday afternoon. You see the rain's gone. That'll be a scenario where, if that's correct, you see clouds trying to slowly erode with Saturday, maybe some highs in the 50s as that wedge tries to break down. Now, the GFS brings another little system in here Sunday night and into the early portions of Monday, and the setup by Monday evening on the GFS is low pressure offshore and high pressure finally building in. Now, let me show you what it looks like temperature-wise. Actually, this is the precipitation chart. Kind of showed you that a minute ago, but this is the rain between now and Sunday evening, and you get into those deeper red shades. That's 2 to 3 inches plus of rain. Now, the Canadian model, pretty similar. This is Friday evening. There's your wedge event underway. Pretty wet Friday forecast for us. And finally, through the week on the European, there's your rain for Wednesday. And then you get out to Thursday, high pressure wedging down, and then there you go. This is the wet Friday also there on the European model. Pretty good agreement there with that scenario before the wedge breaks down, and we try to dry things out a bit on Saturday. And again, in the upper levels, there's your pretty persistent trough on the European. This is Tuesday evening and then all the way out to Friday morning. That trough hanging out west, keeping things pretty damp overall through much of the week. All right, that is it for today's edition of the video. Everybody have a wonderful day, and God bless.